it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Really Charlie Podcast. My name is Charlie Perry, and I am here on Facebook. We are live doing our thing. And I actually had to move over to Facebook and do it live. We normally are on Restream and on a weekly basis every Sunday at 12 noon. And what we talk about is fentanyl. And the facts about fentanyl and some of the stories that are going on, throughout the country, and some of them are tragic and some of them are not. But at least we get the stories out there so we can actually live and learn from this very dangerous drug. I wish we had some other alternatives, which we do, and I just wish they take this dangerous thing off the market. I have a guest coming on. It's Angel. Angel will be on very shortly. I'm just going to go through a few things. I see her backstage. Hi, Angel. I see you. And we'll have you on very shortly. Okay. So what we're going to do is just, I just want to say a few things about fentanyl and some things that I found just in the last 24 hours. So, all right, so let me go back here. Let me go back to. I want to talk about Andrew. The reason why I got this started is basically from a friend of mine named Andrew, and his family. Actually, he started Achieve Greatness 88.org, and so I basically, there wasn't too much I could do, as far as I could do this. I could do podcasts. So this is why I'm doing this, is basically on Andrew, but for Andrew. And Andrew had lost his life. So through fentanyl poisoning. And the organization he started was Achieve Greatness 88.org. And I'm going to read something very short. Andrew's story, forever 33. Andrew had a kind heart. He was passionate and deeply committed to coaching and teaching basketball. He was the proprietor and owner of Achieve Greatness, which he utilized it to uplift and teach our youth about basketball and life, and he took great pride in it. And despite the unusual challenges that we face with new businesses, he established a clientele that was, even during COVID-19 pandemic, he was determined to make a difference, and he performed the task with all his heart. At a young age, Andrew adopted his favorite football team, his beloved New York Jets, and he remained a fan even when they weren't performing well. He was an avid collector of sports cards and memorabilia, and also Andrew enjoyed watching basketball, football, and baseball, even attending games occasionally. He also enjoyed working out and staying fit. Andrew smoked marijuana for his some of his anxiety and PTSD, and when he was smoking, he did have a medical marijuana card, and he got some marijuana from a friend, which led to his fentanyl poisoning, and he lost his life. So Andrew was a good kid, man. A good. Well, he's a grown man, but so But that's why we're here, for Andrew and many, many others. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my new friend Angel to the stage, and uh, and we can talk about a few things. All right. Hey, Angel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Angel. Oh, yes. Now I can hear
Hi.
you loud and clear now. How you doing? How's things?
I'm okay,
Oh,
but
all
I'm
right.
fine.
I'm okay. I'm gonna turn this fan off in the background. I can hear it, so I'm gonna turn it off. Okay. Hold on one second. All right. So this is very this is a very dear subject to me now. I'm hearing and seeing so many different stories, and you know, and Paula and Phil Young, they have actually got me involved in it, and but I myself, didn't really understand the drug at all. I didn't really know what was going on until it was front and center. Especially after Andrew's death. So we start looking into things, and this is a very, very dangerous drug. So,
Yeah.
um, but without further ado, Angel, give us a story. Give us a story about you, and basically just tell me what you want. I'm not holding. I don't want you to hold back. I want you to tell your story so we can all listen and learn from you. And also, I want to give you an invitation every single week to be on this podcast. So if you want to come on and talk, you want to invite some friends and family, you can do that. But feel free to do that.
Okay. Okay. So, um, my son Jared, um, is 21 forever. He was such a happy baby. As a child, he was always the jokester, practical jokester. He was the kid that wanted the magic set and all that, and but he was so smart. Um, His early needs were really hard for him. Their house burnt down while nobody was
Mm,
home, thank God, but they lost everything. He was living with his dad at the time, and I was living in another state. So he later mentioned to me a trauma that he said that he would probably never talk to me or his dad about. Now I
mm,
probably never know. I have ideas though, but um, so Jared started off drinking cough medicine to get drunk when he was about 11 or 12. I saw tweet that he put on Twitter, and about, like, this is another cough syrup night. I called his dad and told him. He just kind of blew it off.
mm-hmm.
Uh, Jared graduated high school at 16 and got a scholarship for University of Kentucky and received his degree at 19. Almost the whole time he was at college, he was using alcohol and various drugs. After he graduated and got his bachelor's, he came home, which is Indiana, Ohio area, and it just seemed like everything went wrong for him. Um, when he was looking into getting his degree, he was told that all you need is a bachelor's and you'll be fine. Well, when he gets out, starts looking for a job, they want a master's.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm lagging. I'm not sure.
Yep.
But
Go ahead. Now,
so, yeah. So, come to find out, he needed more schooling to get a job in the field of psychology. So, he jumped from job to job, usually not keeping one for more, but quit drinking at the beginning of 2020. However, early June or July of 2020, he got his first DUI. So he got a new job a few weeks later near where I live. His plan was to stay with me just until he saved up enough money. It's much on his own since he was 15 or 16. So it was extremely fast factory work, and he had never worked in a factory before, let alone a high-paced one like that.
Yeah.
So he ended up staying, and he had told me around late summer, early fall of 2020 that he had been doing heroin in the spring. I begged him to never do it again because it's so dangerous, especially with the possibility of fentanyl. Now, at the time, what I knew about fentanyl was, you hear on the radio, oh, so-and-so died in this county from heroin and fentanyl. I mean, that's all I knew.
Yes.
So, but he just looked at me and said, Mom, I've done fentanyl before. Like, he was not scared of it. I found out later on he had done pressed pills and was very lucky that it didn't kill him then. He didn't die, so he wasn't scared. So, but he promised me that he would never do it. Unfortunately, he would keep that promise. So in November of 2020, he was in a horrible car accident. We almost lost him then. I wasn't sure what happened. He thinks he fell asleep or something. I'm not sure, but he was in a small tour car, a Del Sol. He was on a divided highway. He went off the road towards the other side and went down towards a deep creek. The car flipped, throwing him through the T-top roof. He landed just before the creek, and the back tire of the car landed on his chest.
Wow.
By the grace of God, he survived, but he had broken both legs. Oh, he had been on his own since he was 15, like I said, 21. No car, no money, 2 broken legs, and living at home with Mom. He was in a very deep dark place and was in a free fall. So he was never one to show his depression very much. He always acted happy and upbeat most of the time, always trying to make sure that everyone else, especially me and younger brother, was happy. After a few months, though, his demons came texting. Christmas Day, his former plug texted him, and he started using heroin. Immediately, but he always denied everything. He denied having a problem and refused.
I'm losing you, Angel. Sorry.
Around March now I know that they were pressed fentanyl. So he left my house the afternoon of, of March 5th. I told him evening his older brother and I found him in his room. Pretty sure that he passed early in the morning.
Oh.
He had shot up what he thought was heroin, but he had fentanyl, carfentanil, his level was 45. He was the guy had threatened him before, but unfortunately, Jared went back to him.
Hmm.
So, knowing what I knew at that point, looking back, I realized that he was being poisoned in front of my eyes. But, I didn't know. So, but yeah, then that shot just sent him over, did him in. When the cop came, they administered Narcan a couple times. It didn't do anything. Obviously, he was too far gone, I think. But they treated it just as a regular. There was never a case.
Wow.
The police didn't take any evidence or nothing. My oldest son, Jared, was number 3 out of 4. So my second oldest son and I are the ones that found him. He took Jared's phone and laptop and stuff, but he was looking at his text messages and sent screenshots to the police where we lived and Ohio. And so after the guy that killed my baby. So as time goes on, about him, he had no clue. He had no idea how big it is. And now they're just now starting to talk about xylazine. That's the new and upcoming drug. It was in my child 2.5 years ago. So that is, fentanyl is very important to bring us to. However, so is xylazine, because xylazine is making fentanyl even more deadly. They found xylazine in 48 states so far. In 2022, approximately 23% of fentanyl powder and 7% of fentanyl pills seized contain xylazine.
Wow. So now we have something else to worry about as a society, what helps you?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Angel. I don't want to stop you. Go ahead.
All right. I just want Jared wanted to make a difference in the world. He wanted to make it a better place. And he was cut short before he was able to do that. So now I'm his voice, and this is how he's going to do it. His legacy is not going to be how he died. It's going to be how many lives he saved.
Exactly. Yeah. um, I see so many moms like yourself and dads that are pretty much doing the same thing. And, it's, if there's anything that, I can do here and broadcasting your stories or different things that you would like to talk about, feel free to, come on the podcast and just talk about it. It's an open platform. We're here on Fireside. Fireside is all over the world. Um, but today, because of some technical issues, I had to come over and jump over onto Facebook and YouTube. Um, but I'm always on YouTube every single Sunday, no matter what, whether I'm here on Facebook or Fireside. The one thing I like about Fireside is that I'm just reaching so many more people. 20,000 shares each show. It's real important that we spread the news, especially in this country.
Right.
The
And the sad
are
thing
there any?
is most of the people that are fighting it and trying to bring awareness to it are grieving parents.
Yes, that's what I've been finding, and it's with with our friend Paula. It seems like it's when she talks to different people, and it's like pulling teeth. Um, Political people, and I'm like, don't you see how dangerous this is? You have a title that you can shake and move things to make things happen. And why ain't you doing it? Why do you have to go through um, all kinds of obstacles just to get you to listen and hear and kind of introduce this to into some kind of law that we can ban such drugs like this? Um, I, uh,
Right.
I I I hear so many people like, well, I don't know, I don't know if we can do that, and I don't know is a sorry word, especially when you're a public figure. You should be able to find the answers for me, as a citizen, as a person in the public. If I'm asking you to find out something, you should. I don't know is just not a word that you can use, especially when it comes to cases like in stories like yours. You want answers, you're trying to seek answers, and the answers. But it would be nice if society and the public figures could help you out a little bit more, a whole lot more rather. So,
Their voices are a lot
um,
more powerful than ours. But instead, you've got these rap artists and other people that are almost glorifying it.
mm,
You've got, I was saying on Facebook last night, there are so many songs about popping perks.
hmm
It's the fun thing to do. It seems like, and they're leading these kids to their death.
yes,
They need to
yes,
they need to use their platform, to try to save lives instead of bringing these kids to their death.
exactly. There's so many musicians out there doing that, and it drives me crazy because, especially when you see a child that's 8 to 10 years old singing the song, and like it's
Right.
it's something normal, like it's like a Christmas carol or something like that. And I'm like, wow, that's so wrong that this child is singing that song and thinking that, you know, popping the pills, like you said, is something that like, going to a candy store, and it's not that. Um,
Right.
and shame on, the record, the industry for putting those things out there, the recording studios and artists and companies, like Sony and so on, that are doing things like that, and putting these songs on the air so we can hear, including the internet radios like or platforms like Spotify and Pandora, it's shame on them for putting it out there because,
Right.
you know, but I this is a shorter show than usual. But I really want you to come back. I really want you to come back and come on with a team of people, a team of parents, where you all can just go back and forth and and talk about almost anything you want. I don't censor anybody. I don't stop anybody from telling their story, and that's what I like about my podcast is I just keep it real. Um, Ed Bish will be on next week, according to Paula, and he's going to come on and speak. He's been through a lot, so next week he's going to come on and just kind of educate us about so many things, and so we're going to have him as the showcase guest. But feel free to check us out and listen to Ed. Um, is there anything I could do for you as far as sharing different things, websites, any kind of organization that you're involved in? Please kind of email it to me, the Really Charlie Podcast at gmail.com, and I will gladly you know uh, share it and get the word out. Because if I can get my group, my political people here to do something for your state and my state, we will. You know, it's a win-win. So I'm trying to do the best I can here with Paula and achievegreatness88.org. So I know your mom wanted to listen to this. I hope she's on listening. Um, but you know, she's when I seen her on the screen, I thought it was you, and I look at the name and it didn't say Angel. So, but a funny story actually. There was one podcast I had, and some gentleman, he grabbed a link, and I don't know what country he was from, but he came on and he jumped right on the podcast, and so I'm saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Like a normal guest, and so he didn't realize where he was, and I don't know where he got it from, but and then I end up just removing him from the podcast. So, um, all right, Angel, I
Yep.
really appreciate anything you can do, anything that you can do for me as far as sharing stories, because I want to put it out there, and I also am. Um, I heard that heartfelt, storytelling with you and your son and your family and what you're going through. Um, Please don't stop telling that story. Tell it over and over and over again. Um, and then I'm going to continue to share it. I know we had some difficulties throughout the interview, but I'm going to try to get as much as I can and share it. I think we gained a lot of material from you, and I'll add it to Spotify tomorrow morning. But feel free, you can see this interview on YouTube, LinkedIn, and here on Facebook.
Okay. I mean, people
Um,
need to realize that we're not talking about, the homeless person down the street or on the corner. We're talking about
yes,
our
I agree.
kids, our neighbors. I mean, this is Jared.
Wow, good
He
looking.
doesn't. He doesn't look like, you know. He was so smart,
Yes,
so smart.
it's it can happen to anybody, and
They can't.
they when it started happening, some of the different things, different drug epidemics that were going on, from in the 70s and 80s and 90s, 2000s. They didn't start really trying to pay attention to it until it started hitting home, hitting hitting people that they knew, and then they said, "Hey, we got to do something about it," and I don't know how much more numbers they need for fentanyl, but the numbers are crazy. They're crazy how many people we're losing.
And I think most most of the governments just turn a blind eye.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, and so, but I'm gonna keep, the politicians that I do know personally. I'm always in the air, always trying to tell them to, open up, get something done, get some awareness out there, especially in the schools. Too many times they want to wait. They want to wait until
Right.
someone's older, or it's the taboo thing. We don't want to introduce that to our kids. Uh, but we got to,
But
you know.
they're experimenting younger and younger.
Hmm. Yes, yes. How many of our children throughout, just on the elementary school level, they're taking different medications. So taking drugs is something that's they're used to. Sort of where I was growing up and I was taking a Flintstone tablet, and that was my vitamin. But it's almost reversed now. It's like you're taking a different medication every single day, and
Mhm.
so when you have the dangerous ones off to the side, say, oh, it's no big thing. I do this every day, uh, but
Right.
and some people are lax with their medications, they're leaving them around, so young people or young curious teenagers can see it and give it a shot, uh,
Right.
but Angel,
Oh,
it's been real
my
great
my
meeting
mother
you.
just,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
xylazine. Xylazine is not an opiate, so Narcan doesn't work on xylazine.
Mhm. I'm gonna do some research on
And
that.
yeah, I was told that unless the paramedics had found Jared and intubated him within like 3 minutes,
Hmm.
he never stood a chance.
Hmm. Wow. And I want to take Miss Daly. Thank you for that comment. I really appreciate that. I'm going to do some research on that also, and kind of add it to the show every week, so people know. Um, but all right, Angel. Any last things you want to kind of chop up on, talk about?
Just, educate your kids, educate yourself, educate your neighbors.
Yeah, it's well, we're going to try to do that. You have a friend in me. Feel free to join me on my page here on Facebook. Add me as a friend if you like, and that way we stay connected, or at least subscribe to the Really Charlie channel, and we can stay connected that way. Um, all right,
Okay. Thank
all right,
you.
Angel. Thank you. I'd like to talk some more and get to know you and your people in your state. So let's keep in touch.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Deanna Daly,
Thank you.
thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your comments and joining us also. All right. That was a very, very interesting story, and but it's a common story by many, many parents throughout this country, what they're going through. Fentanyl is so dangerous, and it's one of the key facts, three key facts that I got today was that One of the questions was, can fentanyl be absorbed through the skin or by touching an item on the surface where it is present? It is a common misconception that fentanyl can be absorbed through the skin, but it is not true for casual exposure. You cannot overdose on fentanyl by touching a doorknob or a dollar bill. The one case in which fentanyl can be absorbed through the skin is with the special doctors prescribe fentanyl skin patch, and even then it takes hours for exposure. So that's a little misconception that's out there. And why is it important to dispel the myth that fentanyl can be absorbed through the skin? It is important that we clarify and let everyone know that fentanyl cannot really be absorbed through the skin because people who have overdosed on fentanyl may have only minutes to live, which is very important. Pausing and waiting for other people to arrive means that the person might die. They need our help and get them to safety. And it's very, very true because it takes 4 minutes. Just takes 4 minutes for the body to expire. And after that, a lot of things happen after that will not be beneficial to the person. All right. So those are some of the facts, and we will be back on next Sunday, 12 noon time on Fireside. I can't share Fireside's link to Facebook, but I can share Fireside's broadcast on YouTube. So we will definitely be on YouTube, 12 noon time every Sunday. And this is the Really Charlie Podcast. Feel free to send me an email, reallycharliepodcast@gmail.com, or connect with me through my social media platforms. Thank you very much. And I'm going to end this podcast with my favorite song by Lionel Peter Walker. And I will keep in touch with you guys. Let's see. Oh, one other fact. There's a lot of facts on the DEA.gov. Very, very, very much information. And please go on that website, DEA.gov. A lot of information there. All right, y'all. Have a good night, good morning, and a good afternoon. And I will talk to you later. Take care.
It's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair, fill your glass.